So hello friends, in this video we are going to discuss about the chapter environmental issues. So in this video we will deal with air pollution and its control. So for the first is we know that actually human population has grown into enormous amount. So when we take about environmental issues, we automatically come into the topic human population, because as the population increases, the amount of utilization of certain products increases, which increases the pollution, which causes some environmental issues. So in last 100 years alone, the human population the amount of human population has grown out enormously. So this increase in population increases the demand of food, water, home, automobiles, shelter as well. So these increase in demand gives out a tremendous pressure on the nature. So the nature has to be exploited more when the population increases, as we need more from the environment. So this becomes a pressure over environment. So now what is pollution? So pollution is something that it is a very common definition that the undesirable change that has occurred in land, air or water. So any undesirable change that has occurred in land, air or water, we consider it as pollution. So the agents which cause these pollutions are generally called as pollutants. So to protect these sections, so there are number of pollutions. There are land, water, air. So to control this pollution or control the pollutants, the government of India has given the to control the environmental pollution. It has given out Environment Protection Act, that is Environment Act in 1986, just to improve the quality of the environment. So the status of the environment, or to save the environment from its danger, this Environment Act was passed out. So now the main topic is air pollution and its control. So air, when we think of air, the sudden thinking of us is it is need in the emergency of respiration. So if we breathe polluted air, automatically it suppresses our respiratory function, so that we'll get some diseases in lungs. So certain air pollutants, so sometimes air pollutants causes growth, affects the growth and yield of crops, premature death in plants, and also affects the respiratory system of humans and animals as well. So the harmful effects of these air pollutants can be shown out in different ways. If that depends on the concentration of the pollutants, the duration of exposure, or the particular characteristics of an organism. So this harmful effects depends upon these three categories. So at the same time, these thermal power plants, smelters and industries, so these also release some release very harmful gaseous air pollutants along with oxygen and nitrogen, which are harmless gases. So we know that oxygen and nitrogen are harmless gases, but it is released along with the air pollutants from thermal power plants, smelters and other certain industries. So before these gases has to be released out into atmosphere, that is without any harm, then it has to be filtered. So it has to undergo a process called filtration process. So there are several ways. So many ways are there to remove this particulate matter from the gaseous, that is from the air pollutants. But these there are many ways, but the most widely used way is electrostatic precipitator, which is mostly used in thermal power plants. So this actually removes the 99% of the particulate matter in the exhaust. So when almost 99% of the particulate matter is removed. So but the recent so this electrode, let me get into the diagram actually. So here is the diagram of an electrostatic precipitator, the diagrammatic representation here. So it has electrode wires that are maintained at several thousand volts. So when these electron volts, that is when these electrons are maintained at several thousand volts, it produces a corona. Actually, this corona actually releases hormones. So the electrons. So these electrons are attached to the dust particles. So these electrons fit out to the dust particles and give them a net negatively charge. So it gives the electron a net negative charge. So and the velocity, there is a collecting plate that is grounded below these this place of discharge pipe and corona in which it passes through, so that the dust particles are attracted by this, that is charged dust particles are attracted by this collection plate which is grounded. So here the velocity of the air that passes through has to be very low, because then only it will allow the dust particles to fall over. So now a scrubber actually is used to remove gases like sulfur dioxide. So the exhaust here is passed in a form of spray, that is along with water or lime. So now the recent study. So the recent realization of this Central Pollution Control Board, that is CPCB, the particulate size of only 2.5 micrometers or less than 2.5 micrometers in diameter can only be removed by this are not removed by this electrostatic precipitator, and they only cause the greatest harm to human health. So when they are inhaled deep into the lungs, when human breathe these particles very deeply, this causes breathing and respiratory symptoms, irritations, sometimes premature deaths, and inflammations and damage to the lungs. So these are caused by the particulate matters which are 2.5 micrometers, that is less than 2.5 micrometers in diameter. So now automobiles. So when we take air pollution, the major cause of air pollution in metro cities are automobiles. So here the government suggests for the proper maintenance lead-free petrol or diesel. So this can be controlled by this major cause of air pollution by automobiles can be controlled by proper maintenance, lead-free petrol or diesel. So because this may cause in various cities, that is an increase in the number of streets, so that it shorts down the complete air content, that is the purity of the air down. So we can, in order to prevent the automobiles, we can use catalytic converters in the automobiles. That is, it consists of highly expensive metals like platinum, palladium and rhodium, which acts as a catalyst in the catalytic converters. So in this catalytic converters, when the exhaust, that is when the poisonous gas released out by the automobiles enter into this catalytic converters, the unburnt hydrocarbons are converted into water and carbon dioxide, whereas the carbon monoxide and nitric acid are converted into carbon dioxide and nitrogen gas. So carbon monoxide is converted into carbon dioxide and nitric acid is converted into nitrogen gas, whereas unburnt hydrocarbons are split to form carbon dioxide and water. So the government suggests that the motor vehicles should be used with catalytic converters, but we have to use unleaded control. So the motor vehicles with catalytic converters should be used only unleaded petrol, because lead in the petrol inactivates the catalyst. So these catalyst gets inactivate when there is when we are about to use the lead petrol. So unleaded petrol can be used for motor vehicles which are attached with catalytic converters. So the controlling vehicular air pollution. So here the Delhi, how Delhi has been controlling the vehicular air pollution has been stated here. So Delhi actually is the leading country in the air pollution. Actually there are a large number of population and it leads in the pollution too. So they are telling that the cars in Delhi is equal to the cars of Gujarat and West Bengal together, more than the cars of West. When we put the number of cars of Gujarat and West Bengal together, even it doesn't match to the number of cars at Delhi. So it has more than that. So here in 1980s, the Delhi has ranked 4th among the 41 countries, that is 41 polluted countries of the polluted cities of the world. So they have taken among the world, so among the most 41, Delhi has ranked that is 4th place in the polluted countries, cities of the world. So this Delhi problem has become very serious, and so that the public interest litigation was filed in the Supreme Court of India. So the government of India has taken steps that changing the bus from diesel to compressed natural gas. So the all the buses in Delhi has been changed to compressed natural gas, that the public transport bus has been changed into compressed natural gas by the end of 2002. Why they chose to compress natural gases? It burns efficiently when compared with petrol. It is very cheaper in rate. It cannot be siphoned by thieves. It cannot be adulterated by the certain peoples. So the main problem, but there is a very main problem, like main problem in switching to CNG was the laying the pipeline. So it has to be distributed through points and pumps to ensure the uninterrupted supply. So that was a very main difficult problem for the Indian government to lay down CNG pipes, that is compressed natural gas, to shift itself, because but the Catholic at the same time there were also parallel steps taken in Delhi in order to prevent the vehicular pollution caused. So like phasing out of old vehicles, so making the old vehicles to change out into new. Unleaded petrols can be used, suggested to use then low sulfur petrol and diesel, and catalytic converters were also used in the suggested in the vehicles. So the government of India has given out stringent norms for fuels. So here for example Euro 2 norms, that is the sulfur control, that is 350 parts per million, that is we tell it as parts per million. ppm is parts per million. So 350 parts per million in diesel, 150 parts per million in petrol. So the sulfur has to be controlled. So there were also several norms like this, that is Bharat Stage 2, which has been currently followed in cities like Mumbai, Kolkata, Chennai, Bangalore, Hyderabad, Ahmedabad, Pune. So certain cities like again Surat, Kanpur and Agra. So these were conducted for 2005 and Euro 4 norms and Euro 3 emission. So these all, but the ultimate goal of them was to reduce the sulfur to 55 ppm, that is only 50 ppm per parts per million has to be present in diesel or petrol to bring down the percentage to 35. So this was their ultimate aim. So due to all these steps, due to the efforts made by the Delhi, the air quality of Delhi has been significantly improved, that is there was a substantial fall in the CO2 and SO2 level. So in India, the Air Act, that is the Prevention and Control of Pollution, was came into force in 1981, but actually it was amended in 1987 because there was an issue to include noise also as an air pollutant. So actually we know what noise is. It is an undesired high level of sound. So this is which causes distress to the people or any other living organism that survives in a particular area. So they are telling that 150 dB, that is 150 decibel, that is a unit of sound, takes off, or the take off a jet plane and rocket may actually completely affect the eardrum and take off the ability of hearing. So the noise has to be, if it causes many levels, that is disorders in humans, because bigger the city, bigger the function, the greater the noise. So this line tells us that when the city is bigger, there will be a lot of industries, lot of functions will be there. As lot of function is there, the greater the noise also will be there. So if it is too high also, it is a problem for humans, whereas it is too low, it is also a problem. So sleeplessness, increased heartbeat, altered breathing pattern, stress is also caused when it is high. When it is low, it may completely, that is, it may permanently damage the hearing ability of a human being. So here, to prevent noise pollution, here delimitation of horn-free zones around hospitals and schools. So a particular area for horn-free zones, that is hospitals, patients will be there, students in schools, has to be prevented from these pollutions. So horn-free zones are made. So delimitation of these horn-free zones, and only permissible level of sound levels of crackers or loudspeakers has to be done. Only there is a particular level in which the loudspeakers and the crackers should be burst out and the loudspeakers should be played, and there is also a particular timing up to which the loudspeakers can be played, and after a time the loudspeakers cannot be played. So these are the efforts, or these are the protective measures or preventive measures to protect ourselves from the noise pollution. So thank you. In the next video we will deal with water pollution and its control. Until then, stay tuned to my video. Thank you.